ये हमारी, आपकी, हम सब की अंतर प्रेरणा है। एक कदम, एक छलांग, एक बाजी, एक गहरी सांस और एक ललकार खुली हवाओं में कि हाँ, मैं बना हूं उन फिजाओं के लिए, कि हाँ, मैं बना हूं उन ऊंचाइयों के लिए जो ऊंची तो बहुत है पर नामुमकिन भी नहीं, क्योंकि मुमकिन और नामुमकिन में बस इतना सा फर्क है। धूप छांव में फर्क बस इतना सा। तो बस चलिए फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया।
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this webinar of Business Opportunity Over Chai. Business Opportunity Over Chai presented by the management of Franchise India with an aim to introduce you with new business opportunity every day at 12 o'clock. Today also we have come up with a new business opportunity for all of you into jewelry retail industry. But before I'll introduce you with the brand, let me just quickly run you through with the Q&A process. If you have any questions during the webinar, please type your questions into the Q&A box. We will take up all your questions post our presentation. We see some of you raising your hands. I would request you to not raise your hand. Instead, write your question into the Q&A box so that we can understand your query and we can provide you answers. I expect you all to keep sharing your queries and questions to make this webinar more interactive. Our today's brand is Glow by Kirti Lal. They are into fine diamond and gold jewelry products. They have their legacy of more than 4 decades in the market, and they are present in 12 plus locations. They have come up with multiple models along with some MG into the market. We have Mr. Venkataraman and Mr. Balkrishna from the side of Kirti Lal, and along with we have Miss Nikita Lumis. She'll be helping you in understanding the commercial part. And we have Mr. Mr. Ravi Kumar, who's leading this brand into Hyderabad market. I would like to request Mr. Venkataramanji to take the lead and tell us more about the brand and the services, products, and the journey, what all they have to serve to our people who are watching you live over here. Over to you, Mr. Venkataraman.
Good morning, everyone. I feel happy to share about our group in this forum. To just give you a brief about our group, I would like to share a small PPT, which gives a backdrop of where we are, where do we stand, how we were evolving. So just allow me to share one presentation, which everybody can view it. Give me a few minutes. My voice is audible, right?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Is it visible?
Yes, it is visible.
See, we are known as Kirti Lals. We are based basically in Coimbatore, which is in the southern part of India, from Tamil Nadu. We have more than 8 decades of operational presence. We started our operations Coimbatore, and just let me see my. Our group was founded by late Shri Kirti Lal Kalidas Mehta way back in 1989. Our flagship store is in Raja State, Coimbatore. And we have outlets in Coimbatore, Chennai, Madurai, Tirupur, Salem, and as you can see, around 12 places. And we have our overseas presence in the USA also, where we have our operations almost more than 2.5 decades. So we have our retail employees. So now this is 450. Now it has crossed more than 500, 550. So it's a huge. We have a good impact in the market in terms of retail presence in southern part of India, and then we are slowly expanding into the other states like Karnataka and Telangana, Andhra Pradesh as well. Now Kirti Lal per se is known for high quality diamonds, which is like if you are in the diamond field, you'll be knowing VVS quality means it's a high end of the market. Okay, all along Kirti Lal is known for high end market quality of diamonds and big size jewelry. This will have an impact in what we are promoting as Glow, which I'll share, which I'll come to later. All along, our exposure has been on the higher side of quality as well as in terms of product. Now, we have a state-of-art manufacturing facility in Coimbatore, which is known as Vispark. We have around more than 500 plus employees in this manufacturing unit, where all these jewelries for our all 12 to 14 retail outlets are in-house manufactured. Our outsourcing will be bare minimum. So We are rest assured in terms of quality, design, efficiency, whatever you call it, what you require for the product. Our in-house strength is much more easy to control and everything. So we got a very strong team of more than 500 employees combined with all the state-of-art manufacturing facility, which is in Coimbatore, and which was established way back in 1992. And we have got a lot of in-house designers, a lot of award-winning in-house designers all the time their role is to make the new designs and cater to the market, which requires all the time new brands, new products, new designs, everything like that. So we got a very strong, dedicated CAD designers and in-house designers who are very efficient and they can throw their ideas inputs into the market and in terms of designs and everything. Okay, we do customization also. Some jewelry is there, the customer wants a customization. We do help them to do that also. And one of the things which we can most proudly claim is we've got a lot of temple jewelry in the last more than within a decade. This was done to Tirupati, Lord Venkateshwara, and we have done Madurai Meenakshi Amman temple, a lot of jewelry. It's all huge pieces where the deities are adorned by this jewelry. We can, so just to show the range, not only we manufacture rings and studs, such a big jewelry piece is also being done in our manufacturing facility. And we got around 13 retail outlets. One is in, we got one franchisee store in a different format for our mother brand, which is Kirti Lal, which all has got a legacy of 84 years. It's all customized furniture, right from customized designs. So we have a clear viewpoint. If you identify our showrooms, you'll see Kirti Lal's brand very clear. So which has got a very good niche finish and everything. And then we're gonna now off late we have started making bridal studio also, which has got a end-to-end requirements being for your bridal wear and everything. So it's a very exhaustive collection. So once you visit our retail outlets, you'll see a separate division for bridal studio, which will cater to the wedding segment. And also you see big pictures of, not big pictures, physical pieces, and you can customize your product. There is a bridal studio, V studio also is there, where you can make changes to your designs. And it's one of the state-of-the-art bridal studios we can climb in anywhere in the industry, and we'll be a group leaders in this segment. That's for sure, we can proudly say. And our customers are not one generation, two generations. They're all fourth generation, from granddad to his son, daughters, everything. So we don't stick ourselves to one set of customers. It's through generations. Our loyal customers are, once they come to customers, Kirti Lal's, the customers doesn't prefer to go out. They remain with us for a longer period of time. That's where we have an edge compared, even though ours is in the top end of the market in terms of quality, our customers still come to us because we got loyalty for more than generation. It's not that the customer comes down and then he changes, switches to other period. We got a brand loyalty for generations. That's our very strong point. And then we got innovations, which keeps growing very frequently. And the innovations are, it's a never-ending process, which keeps growing on a day-to-day basis. We blend the modern techniques because then the jewelry segment now is different from what it was 2 decades or 3 decades or 4 decades ago. Before, my mother and father would have preferred a separate set of jewelry, where now I prefer different. And my daughter and son will not have the same thought process in selecting a jewelry. So the modern technique is blended with our a set of existing ones, so that the customer feels the changes which are in the new trends in the industry, the new development, new design. It's a continuous process, which Kirti Lal as a very strong brand is able to evolve over a period of time. We've got a very good team to support this process also. And in each of our stores, we've got a design lounge where the privacy of the select customers are there, and then VIP customers come. They can in-house designers are there, and then exclusive jewelry is also there, where the clientele feels at peace. And then some of them would not like to sit for maybe in the common room or something. So they need some privacy to be with the family or with themselves. So we have got a proper design lounges where we got all the equipment required for designing new designs. The designers will come, take their inputs, and immediately they'll prepare a thing. So that becomes a very private oriented thing for the customers. So that also is available in all our showrooms. And then we also introduce a thing called virtual stores where customers can browse from a wide range of designs. If suppose you go to a particular store, you don't have the particular design what you want, then we go into the virtual stores, we see all the designs and it can be easily arranged from other stores. So the customer don't feel the absence of a particular product in a particular store. So that facility also Kirti Lal has in all our brand stores. So the customer gets a cutting edge availability in our range and design. Suppose he doesn't get in a particular store, he quickly jumps into the virtual stores and customers can browse to whatever is available across our platforms so that he gets the comfort of different designs and formats. Now we have got a mobile app also. Now we have recently launched. We are in e-com also. The customers can get easily. He can jump into the e-com patterns and the virtual try. So all these it's a modern trend which is available to everybody, and we have also got a strong team which keeps on changing. Then you can even try your pieces out virtually to see how it matches with your photo. So all these add-ons of in the virtual things, it is also there, which is what a strong presence. You visit our website and you'll see all these things. Then mobile app is also launched recently. And then these are some of the awards which we keep regularly getting across the market. Kirti Lal is known for his innovations, and it is being duly recognized by the ROI, which is Retail Institute in India. Then it's not to boast ourselves, but it's a recognition of our strong efforts and thing over a period of time at all India levels, the jewelry stores and thing. We keep getting regular awards with our new innovations, new products, and everything. So when not only for the business segment, Kirti Lal gives back to the society in the terms of CSR, where we take. See, you see the gardens and like everything. We maintain across 45 acres of gardens across 9 cities and 5 states in southern India. All these gardens within the city and near the airports and in the main places, Kirti Lal makes it a point to share our responsibility to the society in terms of CSR. All our gardens are well maintained. We have got a proper team and everything who takes care of the gardens in a one of the very good way. They were good. In fact, we get a lot of awards from the corporations and the state governments for this well-maintained gardens. So it's a way of giving back to the society, not only being in the commercial part, we give back to the society also. And then we got our auditorium, as in terms of CSR, we got an auditorium in Coimbatore, Bharatiya University, where we have sponsored a 1,000-seater auditorium for the students to get conferences. And this is one of the well-attended conferences in this hall, which has got a 1,000-seat capacity. So this is one of the way in which we give back our share to the society. So the students will appreciate this initiative. In fact, a lot of queries has come to us for another set of auditorium also, which will be done due course of time. But this is the existing one in the Bharatiya University in Coimbatore, where if anybody can go and visit, you'll appreciate what we are talking about. And then one of the main core advantages or strengths of Kirti Lal is that 90% of our workforce is made up of women. So the women empowerment is one of the major concepts in India and across the globe. We don't just say in papers. If you visit our factories where the core manufacturing happens, 90% of the work is made up of all women from our cities and nearby cities, where proper training is given to them on joining the industry. It's we got a proper steps how they are integrated into the system. But 90% of workforce is made up of young ladies and married women who join us. Young girls, they are sticking to us for generations. Like they get involved in their sons and daughters comes. It evolves not only from the customer's angle, also from the workers' angle. We have generations of workforce. It's a proud moment for Kirti Lal to say that our workforce is made up of women and it continues across the generations. And these are some of the other CSR things or supports which we have done. like we're going to dedicated science lab, patient waiting hall in the hospitals, then rotaries, and then donations to welfare society, then proper road and drainage facilities, National Institute of Personal Management. Then we during tsunami and floods, we supported during the relief materials and everything, and during COVID, we did sponsor a lot of oxygen cylinders healthcare during COVID wave too. A lot of CSR activity was being done through our Kirti Lal's brand. So this was it, a brief and small presentation about what we are. Okay, this is one of the core thing. Coming to Glow, what our brand, as I said, is the VVS1. This is what I told you, that we are into the VVS quality of diamonds. Now, due to the change of the society behavior and the society's requirement, now younger generation and the public wants on the lower segment in terms of pricing and everything. Because if it's so good a bridal setup, the pricing will be on the very high side, whereas the customer's needs and thing evolves keeps on changing. So, what as a thought process, now we are going in for a brand called Glow, where in terms of quality, it is not a very lower quality, it's a mid-range quality, and in terms of mid-range pricing, where the people's budget fit into the requirements, like college goers or everyday wearing people. They won't want a 10 lakh, 15 lakh jewelry to be worn on a day-to-day basis. Maybe they will want on 50,000, 70,000, and 1 lakh thing which they can wear to the offices or even college going. So that's where the Glow concept came to the picture. And Kirti Lal has launched his brand, and we have got one of stores in the operating in other near in southern states. And our approach is to offer to the more franchises across pan India, then grow as we go forward. So there's a good opportunity for the franchisee partners also, and good opportunity for us also to grow in a different segment of the market, where Kirti Lal is already known for more than 80 years, since 1939. So the Glow is a different, a new baby for Kirti Lal's, but with our experience and the strong team of manufacturing, strong team of retailers, strong team of designers, strong team of administration, with our board and management helping us a lot in all this initiative. Glow, we are sure Glow will be a great success, and then we are ready for the whatever query comes in, and then we're ready for it. So now, Nikita, you can take it forward with the commercials and let me know if anything else Q&A is required. We'll be more than happy to share the thing.
Sure. Thank you, Venkat sir. I think it was a very well informative presentation that you brought to the partners in regard to the Kirti Lal as the bigger brand, and now going forward with the Glow by Kirti Lal, which would be more towards the affordable and the regular wear jewelry, which can be catered to the masses and other categories. Now, what I'll do is I'll present to you all the financial proposition that Kirti Lal has brought for our partners. And Venkat sir, I would like you to add anything that you would like to suggest around the floor.
Yeah.
Okay. So, if we speak about a given store for a Glow by Kirti Lal, we would require an area of close to 500 to 600 square feet, which could be a suffice area where there could be the display inventory as well as any storage inventory that needs to be procured. The inventory required at the 500 square feet of a store is close to 1.75 CR, which the partner will be introducing in terms of a security deposit.
Sorry to interrupt you. I think the caratage is wrongly mentioned. It should be 175 carats. The 300 carats can fit into a 900 square feet operations. Just to correct your my thing, it's 175 carats. You can just highlight that.
We'll certainly correct that and circulate that around the partners.
Yeah.
Where an inventory is required for 1.7 CR as a total inventory at the store, the brand is going to provide to a partner two type of revenue shares. One would be a 4% revenue share on the overall turnover, as well as there would be a 9% annualized return against the deposit that the partner is going to introduce. So this will be a model where if we speak about the operational expenses, the rent will be agreed in the name of Kirti Lal, and the rent will be paid by Kirti Lal. All the other operational expenses will be borne by the franchisee partner, but will be reimbursed by Kirti Lal as a whole. Only the staff cost, which comes as a salary to operate the store, will be in the books of the franchisee partner.
Yeah, just to add one point in the staff cost also, they will be putting in most of the staff. And in case the franchisee wants to add on, they can put in 1 or 2 people and then that can be taken care by them. But since the product is, our team will be having a strong knowledge thing, we'll be having a lot of our own stuff.
Sure. So overall management and the trained staff will be introduced by by Kirti Lal. As Venkat sir has just advised that if there is need of any additional staff by the franchisee partner, they can introduce to that. Though the company will be operating the stores and taking care of all the expenses, the partner will be promised a 9% annualized return on the security deposit, as well as a 4% overall return on the turnover that the partner is going to introduce with an agreement period of 5 years. As we have just expected that for a 500 square feet of a store, the interior cost that the partner could be borne with could range between 35 to 45 lakh rupees. I would ask Venkat sir if you can also brief the partners a little about what kind of revenues are we expecting out of these stores as a monthly or an annual turnover, so that it can bring a better perspective for the partners as well.
Yeah, in the year one, see, we are taking a very conservative estimate in terms of revenue, but we are sure it will be more than what we are targeting. So in year one, we are assuming that our stock turn will be one time. So it will be around 2.6 crores of revenue in the year one. And year two, it will be around 4 crores. Year three, it will be around 5.25 crores. Year four will be 6.5 crores. And year five will be 7.8 crores. These are all in terms of stock turnover 1 time, 1.5 time, 2 time, 2.5 times, and 3 times. Basically, stock turners, you have an inventory of 175 carats. See, we multiply it by 1, which is 175 carats. So a monthly, which is around 15 carats, which we are sure it can be easily achieved here. But in our practical experience, it will be much more. But since it's a new brand and it's a new baby, we are taking a very conservative estimate during the first year. But from year two, with the all the additional support, everything will be done. So we are sure the turnovers can be easily achieved. So in terms of revenue, as you rightly said, it will be a 9% on the security deposit and 4% on the turnover, which will be certainly reviewed end of 3 year and it will be mutually agreed upon for further increase. So by the third year, the brand would have been well established and the volume would have been nearly more than double. So I'm sure the franchisee partner will also be happy and we also will be happy to share what we get. So sure, it can be, we have our estimates are a little conservative in terms of revenue, but it can be easily achieved. It starts with 2.6 crores in the first year and goes all the way up to 7.5 to 8 crores in the year 5.
Sure. Thank you so much to set a perspective around the same. Our MD, Ms. Sonia Chaudhary, is also joined on the call. Ma'am, anything that you would like to add to the brand's call?
I think I'd like to take some questions if you are done, Nikita. I think we can first conclude on the financial and then we can take up the questions. And friends, my request would be if you want to have anything specifically asked, you can write that in the Q&A box and we'll take up these questions. Our focus markets for Kirti Lal, Global Kirti Lal is Hyderabad and Chennai. So these are 2 markets where we're currently looking at focusing on. Anything else, Nikita, that remains to be taken through in terms of financials?
I think this was all the brand has procured in terms of what we are providing for. Anything to add? I think Venkat sir can add to that and we can take up the questions as follows.
Yeah, this is only a brief, Nikita. What I would suggest, if any more specifics are required, probably we can fix up a one-to-one because each franchisee partner might have thought process on his own, might have a different thing. So it may not be possible to answer all the queries. So if they want a specifics, we are more than happy to discuss with them on one-to-one basis. Probably we can fix up a calls on one-to-one basis and take. So common questions can be answered right now.
Sure, Venkatji, and thank you so much for coming on this webinar today. Friends, keep writing in. We'll take up questions and some questions which are common. We'll try to club these questions together. So I'll just quickly recap, as far as Kirti Lal, some of you had questions on the diamond quality. I'll request all of you to go on the website of the company Kirti Lal. They're one of the most trusted, credible jewelers in the Indian jewelry market, and they carry very strong legacy, which dates back 1930s, about 80 plus years in the Indian industry and jewelry market overall, with credibility and trust that has only become stronger, I would say, day by day. And if you look at business models or franchise models, jewelry overall forms a very sustainable franchise business model. And the overall addressable market also for this category is very, very big, from the relevancy point of view, from the demand point of view, from the value or the volume points of view. It has been very, very strong. And also it continues to see a very strong rise because there's a growing demand for high quality and branded gold and jewelry products, which was not the case, I would say, 20 years back. Right. On top of that, I would also say when you look at an investment in a business of this nature, specifically jewelry, this is also an appreciating asset, right? So relatively, there is no risk on the investment. It is not outdated, right? In case of I would say apparel, footwear, all these products also become obsolete. So this is an asset which is an appreciating asset. So relatively, even for the franchisee, there is no risk, so to say, which he carries. People today who are looking at even your end customers, they look at both the saving aspect and also the aesthetics angle when they look at jewelry buying, so to say. Right. And if you look at the last 20 odd years, we've all seen a very big shift today, which is coming in this segment. And a lot of, I would say, standalone players, which existed maybe 20, 25 years back, we don't see them anymore. So, for example, in 2000, early 2000, the unorganized segment or standalone segment in this industry was almost 95%, only 5% was organized. Today, this is anything between 35 to 40% is the organized industry segment when it comes to jewelry. And this is because of lack of transparency, a lack of even adoption of technology as to what kind of SKUs move in what locations. And hence there's a big risk, for small players, or I would say standalone players, whose business model, they continue to rest on the legacy practices, and they're losing a big customer base and also the trust. Now, jewelry overall market has, I would say, three broader segments, and wedding continues to have the largest segment. But apart from wedding, daily wear and fashion has emerged as a very strong, component in the overall jewelry pie, which is almost about 40%, where daily wear and fashion is almost about 40% of your entire jewelry sales, which happen in India. And your typical carat in daily wear and fashion wear jewelry can be anything between 14 carats to about 18 carats on an average. Largely, as Venkatji also mentioned, your younger generation, this is an entry level jewelry, so not very expensive. We'll also talk about the price levels. And the millennials today want to change often, and they have a variety of such jewelry, which is largely driven by working professionals, also lightweight jewelry, youngsters, gifting, and a lot of occasions where this jewelry is today bought by individuals. On the business model, this model does not require a huge area, but definitely we need to be in the right location. Preference would be in maybe a high street or a mall, either of the two locations, or maybe a jewelry market. Anything between 500 square
Sonia,
feet.
can I interrupt you for a moment?
Please, Venkatji, go ahead.
The location can be chosen by us also, as well as the franchisee has got something in his mind.
Yes.
We'll be more than happy to get into that location, because as you rightly say, the location plays a very vital part. I would say in terms of requirements, 60 to 70% importance should be given to the right location.
Location,
so
yes.
That can be both ways, and that can be, the expenses can be taken care as we move forward.
Absolutely. So, friends, so what Venkatji is saying, if you already have a property or a location that you want Kirti Lal to consider, you can share the specifications. They would do a Reiki, because the onus of making that location or business successful also lies on the brand, and also given their experience in the industry at large, they would know what would work. And so that's a support structure which comes from the company. So 500 square feet is a space which requires an inventory of 1.75 crores to be invested, and the balance would go in the form of interior, which is the basic capex investment. Nikita, what have we taken as the investment in terms of interiors per square feet would translate to how much?
To somewhere close to 4,000 to 5,000 rupees.
No, the indication is more, but the realistic, it will end up in 5,000 only. because we with the fit out all the security requirement thing, we're taking little on the higher side at 7,000, but we are sure it will not be 7,000. Our practical
Absolutely.
experience says always it's around 5 to
Correct.
max on the
Under 5,
5,500.
Venkatji, and you're right. Most of the jewelry brands, even the top leading, the bigger formats, also the average comes out to about 5,000 square feet. But I think Nikita has taken a little bit on the higher side, where the company would share these specifications with you on the design component, which will be executed. And
Yes.
with the 5,000 per square feet, it translates to about 25 odd lakhs. That's the gap that we have taken, so to say. And I'll quickly take up questions, Venkatji, on our business model. And maybe
Yes.
first and foremost, I think, and just to clarify, friends, so all the operating expenses, now there are, the company is completely de-risking the franchise partner. The biggest risk sometimes with an investor is, what do I do with the investment I have made? So the entire investment, if you see, is the jewelry, which relatively has no risk. And this jewelry is also sitting in the books of the investor. And on this investment of 1.75 crores, the company is giving a 9%, which is an annualized minimum guarantee, right? So which translates to almost about 15.75 lakhs in a year. And in a period of 5 odd years, this is almost about 80 lakhs, which comes to you in the form of the interest or minimum guarantee. And the security deposit is also returned, at the end of the period when the agreement comes to an end, if it is not extended mutually by both the partners. And over and above this minimum guarantee, you also get a component of 4% revenue share. So which means whatever sales would take place at the outlet, 4% of that would come to the franchise partner. Typically in a diamond, and we'll take more insights from Venkatji, your typical stock turn in diamond is approximately, depending on the format and at what stage the business is, it can be anything between 1 to about 2 odd times. So in the first year, we have taken a smaller stock turn, and it gradually increases in the second year. So you can calculate a 4% out of that, right? So that becomes your...
Nikita, sorry to interrupt you. The stock turn, what you are saying, see, if you see a typical jewelry outlet, if you ask me about the stock turn of a bridal jewelry, it could be less than 1 also, because the bridal jewelry doesn't go. But whereas we ask me what is the earring, pendants, bracelets, I think it'll be more than 3-4 times in the first year itself. But and glow being on the lower segment, it's all it starts from weight, average weight starts from 30 cents to 1 carat, which is the highest side for the necklaces. Average weight is on 25 to 30 cents for around 70% of the products. So we are sure the stock turn will be much more, but to be on the safer side, we have projected a lower stock turn on the first year. Just to clarify this.
Absolutely, Venkatji. And also with respect to your operating expenses, the biggest component, forms, which is rental, which forms the biggest component of your operating expenses. That is taken care by the company, and including even the staff expenses, which I heard Venkatji talk about, is a large part of that is also taken care by the company. But if the franchise partner also wants to recruit a staff, they would do that at their own expense. So largely, if you look at all the operating expenses, I would say 95% of that expense is largely borne by the company. So Venkatji, if I want to maybe extend that further, if you look at the overall, stock turn, what is that we project blended, while we have different SKUs, right? So some would move fast, some would not move fast, but overall stock turn that you're proposing for the first year would be how much? And
one time, one stock turn. First year would be 1.
And what is the value of the stock? Because 1.75 is the security deposit.
No, that is the cost of the thing. Our selling value will be around 2.6.
Right. So, friends, so 1.75 is the security, but the value of that stock at the outlet would be about 2.6 crores. In the first year, we have taken a very realistic number in terms of revenue sales, which is only one stock turn in year, which is 2.6.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, I'll take quickly, Venkatji, some questions. I see a lot of questions which are there. And friends, my request would be, because we might need to get into more details of financials, we'll be happy to get on one-to-one discussion. The 2 markets we are focusing is Chennai and Hyderabad, like I mentioned. So any inquiries at this stage from cities outside is not something that we'll be happy to consider at this stage. All right. Venkatji, one question which I see is on the average, what is the typical SKUs that you would have for broader categories and also the price points of our articles at the outset?
See, we got a typical, I can share with your team what is the typical product mix for 150 or 200 carats thing I can share you. But SKUs will be like 7 items, rings, bracelets, studs, and the necklaces and small ear studs and everything, where each has got a typical breakup. How much will be number of pieces? So I would say for a 150 carats, we have got around 550 pieces. Typical average. So it's around 35, 36, 30 cents, 35 cents an average it comes. Like
Okay.
550, 150 divided by 550, it's around 27 cents. An average weightage of the carriage. And the gold will be around 6 to 8 grams on the higher side. Necklaces will be little on the higher side, where the carriage will be around a carat and the weight will be little on the higher side. But we propose to give 150 carats inventory if we give it. A typical product mix of 550 to 560, 70 number of products. The price brand, it will start from 50 to 60,000. It goes a little higher for the necklaces and all, depending on the weightage of the carats.
Right. So, friends, very quickly, let me show their website. Anybody who wants to see somebody,
No,
you know,
website, Glow, there's a website. I think there's a separate
right.
website.
Could you have put that and on the screen for everybody who wants to see the website? You can go on Glow by Kirti Lal. You can see the entire inventory because somebody's asked. But I would recommend website is one. But if you're keen, we would recommend you to do one-to-one meetings. So if you look at these are the broader categories from rings, earrings, pendants, and there are also other collections which they have, including gift items. And let me go quickly further down.
So just to update this particular point, if the franchisee will come to a stage 2, they can very well visit our factory in Coimbatore, where the ready stocks are available in a bigger way.
All
so
right.
you can feel the product directly with a lot of variety also.
Wonderful. Great. I think that answers the question one of our friends had put in the question box. So friends, if you're interested, do let us know. And some of the questions which I see I've already answered on the inventory, on the operating expenses. And friends, if you need more information, please reach out to us. What would be the value of the stock is already covered. Lokeshwarji, it would be about 2.6 crores. The inventory security deposit is 1.75, but the value of the stock is much higher. We'd be happy to share details on the number that you have sent to us. All right. Great. And Amiji, yes, not for North at the moment. It is only the 2 markets in South India, which is Hyderabad and Chennai. These are the 2 markets initially where their focus is. Wonderful. So thank you so much, Venkatji, for being with us today. And I thank you all our friends for coming on the webinar. All of you requested us for sending the financials and information. We would reach out to you. In fact, we have Ravi, who's heading our entire region for AP and Telangana. And we also have Shakti Vel, who heads our entire Kerala and Tamil Nadu market. And the respective teams in these 2 markets would be happy to reach out and explain the business model. And if we qualify you as a potential partner, we'll bring you on a call, followed by a physical meeting with Mr. Venkat. And subsequently, anybody who wants to visit the factory in Coimbatore, we would be happy to even extend that invitation to all of you. And Venkatji, before we close, I'll request if you want to give a message to all of our viewers who are listening to us, and many of them would also be listening to us live on YouTube.
Yeah, Kirti Lal, being one of the premium brands, is more than happy to share their efficiency in the product making and the range which we have with the potential franchise partners. Is a new segment for us, but we are super confident with the experience and the product range we have to be that will be a very quickly off the block and make it a big successful brand. So let us share the details with the team, and then if they want me to have a one-to-one meeting, we'll be more than happy to see them personally, let them have our confidence in us with visiting our manufacturing facility, because people might think we are talking on the seminar just like that, but if they visit us one time, the entire perspective changes. That's what we have seen many times. Before meeting, they have a different view set of us. But once they come to us, they have a totally different minds. So we are sure that will be to many of the franchisee partners. Let us grow together. Let us share the margins together, and I'm sure things will fall in place in some time.
Absolutely, Venkatji. And thank you, friends. I see Mr. Lasya Valuriji, who's writing from Hyderabad. Sir, we've taken your interest. And we would have, in fact, we have Ravi, who's on the webinar on the panel. He himself would reach out to you. We'll send the deck that we have also shared in the presentation today. So thank you so much once again, friends, and have a great day. Before I close, I'll request Neha to kindly take over for concluding remarks.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you all the panelists. Thank you, Venkat sir, for joining in. Guys, I'm sure the brand details which we have shared with you are going to benefit you in understanding the brand in detail. And if you want to have a one-to-one discussion with us, I have dropped our hotline number. You can reach out to us. Our team is going to get in touch with you within a day or two to take the conversation further and to connect you with Mr. Venkataraman for take it forward. Tomorrow, again, we are coming up with a new business opportunity with Thalam, which is into live concerts. They have 20 plus years of experience into media activities. Tomorrow, we are going to share with you the business opportunity they have into Indian market. I have shared the registration link into the chat window. You can click on the link and you can get yourself registered in advance, and you can join us tomorrow sharp 12 p.m. to know more about the brand and business opportunity with Thalam. Thank you so much, everyone, for your time. I hope you will have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, friends.
Thank you.